Hello and welcome to Hixxy Studio. I'm going to show you in this short video how to make this card. Now, this is using a set of stamps and dies that are designed to make a box card, which I've done in a separate video. But I just want to show you that you don't have to use it in that particular way. Okay, so if you want to know how I coloured, stamped and coloured and cut all the little images, then please refer to the Woodland Box video and you'll find all the information you need there. So I stamped them all out and coloured them all in, and then so you've got, if I show you this, these are the stamps that come with it. You get the deer, a little fox, rabbit, a couple of trees, a stump. But you don't need to use them all. It's up to you what you want. I've happened to use a couple of the trees, the deer, the little mushrooms and one of the flowers. You could use any combination you want. It comes with the set of dies. This one is for the box, so this one's not needed for what we're doing here. It comes with a set of dies that match our stamps, and then you can just cut them all out. Okay, so once we're at that stage, and I've got the bits I want here, I'm hoping these are all the bits I need. I have some trees, big trees and a little tree. I've got I've got the fox as well. We'll see what I decide to put together this time. We've got the rabbit and the fox and the tree stump, and there we go. So I'm just going to put those to one side. They are all ready to go. Now, I have used some brown card from my stash for the base card, and bear with me a moment. The pattern paper I've used is from this pad. This is Crafter's Companion Woodland Friends, part of the Nature's Garden collection. This is the one that I have used. Very pretty paper there. Whoop. Just knocked everything over that's under the table, but we're all right. It's okay. It's okay. So I have gone ahead and cut my my layer for the back. Now I'm quite into frames at the moment. Frames are quite easy to do. If you can cut them by hand, you can cut them by die. So I've happened to use some nesting square dies, just because I just like the idea of the frame, and I've used the same set of dies here to cut my little base for the center. All right, now, I seem to have lots and lots of things, loads of things that we could possibly use. You can see multiple rabbits, they're all coming out now. This Celebrate die, or the sentiment, comes from this Trimcraft first edition set. I think it's just called die sentiment dies. I find the thing. Yeah, sentiment die. It's a lovely little banner die, and it cuts so that you can see through. And all I've done is I've backed it with another piece of the card here. Now, what I am going to show you is how to just create a little bit of a background, so that your characters and your things are sitting on something rather than just seeming to float in the air, and also how to create these couple of little extra sort of banners to go down. So I am going to stick these two bits on first so that I don't end up losing them, and then we'll be ready to look at the rest of it. I think it's really nice when you buy that dies, particularly something like a concept set like the box dies, that you can got that around the right way. That you can use them in other ways, so you don't have to just use them to create that box. You can use them in other ways, and these little stamps are gorgeous little things for our small cards and for building up scenes in different ways. So there's our frame. Okay, there's the frame, and yeah, we won't put anything on just for the moment. So I'm going to decide on my little piece for the middle what I want and where I want it. So I'm definitely going to have my 3 trees. And sort of just to get a bit of perspective, the smaller tree is going to go a bit further back, and we'll have a couple of the bigger trees, let's say there. Should we have the fox this time? Let's go with the fox rather than the deer. We'll have the fox sitting on a tree stump. The fox sitting on a tree stump. Maybe we'll have the rabbit. Let's have the rabbit sitting on the tree stump. Sorry, I am playing now, but you can see if you just print stamp a load of them, you can have a big old colouring session, and then you can work out what you want. Let's go with that rabbit. He's a little bit better stamped. We'll stick him on there. Okay, so those are kind of like the main bits, and I'm just placing them. I'm not sticking them for the moment, just so that I know rough. I'm just flicking them off, you know, whatever. Just so I know roughly where these things are going to stand. I'm going to then, I've already got on my my white tile various, these are just distress inks. If you have white tiles, you can leave them. They dry out, but they're easily reactivated with water. So I'm just going to get hopefully a clean brush, and I just want some of, I'm going to use this one. I know is antique linen, so this is a nice kind of pale colour. Let me just put more water in, otherwise I'm reaching across. And all I'm going to do is, I'm like, right, okay, this is roughly where I'm going to put him, and roughly up to there is where I want to put the trees. And I'm just going to move the things off, and then I can create my background. I'm using a really pale colour because what I don't want to do is to then make that kind of like a focal point and make it stand out too much. It kind of just needs to provide enough to make your scene look like it's grounded, but not so much that it detracts from everything else. Okay, so we'll move that out the way so I don't put my arm in it mostly. Then we're going to get some glue. Get my little fine tip because I'm sticking these things down. So I'm going to stick the small tree first because that's going to be further away in the distance. We're going to put that one there. I'm going to have one here. And going to have another one kind of here. There's our 3 trees. Give us a little bit of perspective there. Now it might not be sticking because that is possibly still wet, and I just put wet glue on. I think that's probably why this bit's not sticking. Just bear with me. There we go. Okay, so we are going to put our little tree stump there, and then we're going to sit our little rabbit on the top, and then let's see what else I'm going to add in. Have I got? Oh, I've got 2 blue flowers, so we might stick those in because we've got the blue on the butterfly. We'll put up little blue flowers here. Oh no, not there. I don't like that there. Let's put in there. In that gap. This one. So this is entirely up to you how you compose your little scene. What else should we put in? Quite like that big mushroom. I think I might stick that there on the side. Bear with me, of the tree. I have glue on my hands, unfortunately. That's why everything's sticking to me rather than to where I want it to stick. Okay, right. So there's our little scene. So we're going to actually stick that on to our card. Make sure I've got it up the right way. And there we go. So we don't need those. We'll keep those for another day. So what I have is our little celebrate that's going to sit across here. But I want these two things that are going to come down. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to use the back of the paper, and I'm just going to draw something that's a bit bigger. Doesn't have to be hugely accurate. I'm just going to say, right, I want it roughly that size, and kind of there on my little thing. And I'm going to use my scissors. I'm not going to worry too much about getting in on a guillotine. I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to cut into that little dot. There, there's one, and I'm going to do another one like that. So this is using this die cut just to create some additional interest without actually having to use a die. Okay, so let's cut that one too, and cut up to the dot. Okay, and then they don't need to be huge, so although these are quite long, it doesn't really matter too much. And all I'm going to do is, ooh, the glue's coming out. There we go. All I'm going to do is stick that on there for the moment, and this one. Then with this one, I'm just going to stick it. I'll stick it this end because then I've already got one nice straight edge. Okay, and then that's dry. Whoop, say once that's dry, she said, with it still wet and it moving. I'm going to cut up there and up there, and then I am just literally going to cut in to create a little V. Oh, and it flies off. One that will go there. Just chop that bit up. And now, if you want to get that to a perfect point, then stick this further up. I didn't stick it up quite high enough, so I can't go out to that point, but that's okay. We can do it this way. There we go. That bit's come off too. And cut that. So I'm going to have them at different height, and then our little celebrate one will cover up the fact that they are. I'm going to chop a little bit off of each because I want them a bit shorter. And that one. Okay, that one. And that one. That. And then this will go over the top. So I'm going to use a bit of glue gel to put these on. So, yes, it's working. Not to give it this bit any dimension, just because it gives me a little bit more of a wiggle room. And put that one there. And this one to go a bit higher there. And then on the back here again, and we can put it here. Okay, so there you have a different way to use the dies and stamps from this woodland box set to show that you don't have to make the box. You can create a scene in any way that you like. Thank you for joining me.